Hello there, it's Jimmy Caron, and I just wanted to say hello to the East Coast Horror Group. I've been in Chicago for 3 days with the Day of the Dead, and it has been a great time, except I had to sit next to Tommy Matthews of Return of the Living Dead, and that's awful. But otherwise, it was a wonderful time, and you people are great here in Chicago, and we thank you for the hospitality.
Sounds it.
Otherworldlyculture.com.
They're here.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Otherworldlyculture.com presents Dead on Movie Reviews.
Salutations and mutilations! You're listening to Otherworldly Culture presents Dead on Movie Reviews. Tonight, we will present horror movie reviews and lively debate here on otherworldlyculture.com and on future select Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. You can join our live chat at that time by clicking on the live shows link on the otherworldlyculture.com website. Hi, I'm your host, Tim Kretschmann, coming to you from the east coast of Lake Michigan. It's my honor to introduce the Faculty of Fear panel presenting tonight's lectures. And here we go. There they are. Whoops. Oh my goodness. There we go. The first mistake of the night. She's on vacation.
Won't be the last.
She's on vacation. It won't be the last, no. All right, she's on vacation, but we do have on the line today Adam Holtzoffel. He's our hardcore otherworldly culture columnist, and he won't brag to you, but he is, in fact, the Taco King, and just like that, he has a hard shell, but he's filled with delicious meat. Here he is, Adam Holtzoffel. How you doing, Adam?
Good, Tim. How are you?
Fantastic. Glad to have you on the show tonight. And also, tonight on the show, we have our good friend. He is sometimes known as the coach. He's sometimes known as the face of Jace and a sincere zombie apologist. He is the man of two voices, Coach Michael Exler, the Dean of Students. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great, Tim. How are you, sir?
You know, I think Coach has never really caught on. I'm not sure. Maybe it's because I didn't play the music. Hold on. I got music for this. There. Now that's better. See, now you're like the coach. Coach McGurk.
The coach.
There
I
you
never
go.
understood it.
It is 100% accurate.
Oh,
As are all
I
the
don't
things
follow.
I say and do on this show. I forgot to
follow.
play your theme music too, Adam. Here. There you go. It still cracks me up. All right. We have 3 panelists, but don't worry. We have shows, movies that we watched tonight that I think we're going to have plenty to talk about. So why don't we get right into things? This thing is not at the right spot. There we go. All right, let's get things started. Adam, what have you been watching?
So, I watched Mandy from 2018, starring Nicolas Cage. It's about 2 hours long. That's an hour too long, in my opinion.
Ooh.
I waited for the hype to die down to check it out, and honestly, while it's pretty to look at, this is basically a piece of shit covered in glitter. At the end of the day, it's still a piece of shit, folks. Basically, Nick Cage, married, has a girlfriend, whatever. She gets abducted by a cult. He goes out for revenge. Everyone saying it's Nick Cage going batshit crazy must not have seen Mom and Dad. Because he went crazy in that and was a way better movie than this. Yeah, I can't really find anything redeeming about this film other than it looked good.
Doesn't Nicolas Cage go crazy in a lot of his films at this point?
I I think he does.
It's a
I think
prerequisite.
that's the gimmick. Yeah.
Wasn't he in, was it that vampire movie or something where he was smiling real strange and that became a meme? What the hell was that?
Oh shit. I know which film you're talking about. I can't think of
I
the
couldn't
name of
watch
it.
that
But yeah.
movie. That was one of those movies that everybody's like, "Oh, you got to see this, you got to see this." I threaded it up and I'm like, "Ugh, I don't care for this." Ugh.
Yeah, that's how I feel about this. Like I saw a lot of people talking about Cheddar Goblin. I was expecting it to be this awesome thing, and it was like 5 seconds of the film. I'm like, fuck Cheddar Goblin, like fuck this film. Just yeah, it's horrible. Nobody should see this.
Wow. Wow, you don't want to talk it up anymore? Cuz I think people were
I
like,
don't think I
up
can.
until the Cheddar Goblin thing, I think they were with you and thinking, I should probably go see this. And then you kind of threw a curveball in there by saying you didn't like it a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean the Cheddar Goblin was cool, but for all the hype I saw about it, it was literally 5 seconds of the film. So I don't get why it was that big of a deal.
Well, all right. Why are you ready to grade? Are you? That's all you want to say
Yeah,
about it? Okay.
I think I'm ready unless you or Mike have anything to add. I think everyone's seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't?
No, did you, Mike?
Yeah, I did. I did. The hype was very strong for the film, so I went in expecting something. Uh, like Adam said, it looks really nice. It's polished. The production value was high, but I just didn't get what was so great about the story or even the performances or anything of the like. I don't know. Is this me like really being like the old man looking down upon new films or something like or horror hipsters? Like I don't know. I just don't get it. I
Well,
don't
you are
understand the new wave
a
of
horror
horror.
hipster. You are a horror hipster. Everybody knows this. But
No, I don't. I could be a lot of things, but I'm not certain that I'm a horror hipster. But
you love that Marmaduke or whatever it
nope,
was.
I can't say that I do.
Anyway, I have already guessed using my incredible intellect. I have guessed what Adam's grade for this is. Let's see if I
I'm gonna
got it
say
right.
you.
Wait, was I right?
No, it
No.
actually gets a Z for zero people should watch this film.
Boom.
Wow. See, but that looks like a 2 in that font. It looks like a 2, so you gave it a 2 by some people. I better write out 0.
Yeah,
There we go.
let's let's give it a 2 for I'm hoping there's not a part 2 to this fucking film.
Wow. You're getting a little harsh there in your old age. I've noticed this about you.
I wasted 2 hours of my life watching it.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's the other thing about it. That movie is way too motherfucking long.
Well, I think
Yes,
I've talked
it is.
about this before. I think comedies and horror movies should not go far beyond 90 minutes.
Agreed completely.
Once they start going past that, every minute should be absolute gold or stop it.
Yep.
Even my
Pass.
beloved Jaws, which I would not want a cut out of that movie, I admit it starts slow. I admit that. I wouldn't want anything cut out of that movie. I love that movie. There's one deleted scene I'd actually like them to put back in, but I even admit that thing's just a little long. All right, Mike.
It's a little long in the tooth. What?
Oh God. All right, Mike. What have you? Oh wait, I gotta do that. What have you been watching, Mike?
So I saw 2019's Brightburn. Um, so I believe everybody has seen it on the panel, correct?
Nope, nope. I did not see
Yep,
it.
I have.
Tim, I thought you had like Movie Pass. What are you doing?
Movie Pass no longer exists as such. And what
Oh,
happened is I went berserk on Movie Pass. So I saw all those movies up to, you know what the last movie I saw on Movie Pass was The Meg, honest to God. And then things kind of imploded. I might have seen one or two other movies after that, but The Meg was the last one I remember on Movie Pass. So now I have this huge movie queue that's been sitting there, and I've been just ODing on watching at home. Like I told you, I'm watching the beach party movies. I'm like, I gotta catch up. I gotta catch up on all this stuff. I have about 10,000 movies in the queue, and I'm not even making that up. It's bad. So yeah, I haven't seen
uh,
Brightburn. Haven't seen it, and
damn you.
it didn't stay in the cinema house all that long. I thought.
No, it wasn't there a long time,
Yeah.
but it in fact was there.
Yes.
But instead of going over the director and all that bullshit, I'm really conflicted about this film. Saw it over the weekend. I actually saw it Saturday night,
Okay.
and so I watched the film, and I read some reviews online, and most of the reviews I saw were pretty negative of the film. Um, and some of them are just like, it sucks, I hate it, and no real reasoning. But one gave a couple reasonings for why he thought it wasn't a good horror film.
Okay.
And the characters are pretty dumb. Um, the husband, it's Tim, it's no secret. I'm not spoiling anything. This is essentially if Superman had gone evil.
Right. Right.
That's what it is. I mean, down to the fucking letter. Like he came from the sky, crashed in a farm, all that shit. So the parents of this child, alien, are the dumbest fucking humans probably that's ever lived. Um,
Nice.
and they continue with how they try to deal with this situation, being the dumbest people that could have ever lived. There's so many jump scares. I lost count. Uh, there's they mentioned that there wasn't a lot of gore. I didn't have a problem with that. I don't need a ton of gore in films for it to be scary or good.
Right.
Um, so they went on and said a couple other things, but they were right. There's a lot of jump scares, a lot of sort of horror moments, and
Okay.
it goes it goes to a lot of what I say I don't like in a lot of reviews. Not original jump scares, things like that. Um, but on the other hand, the plot was something that I've always wanted to see. Um,
So you like the concept, but
I
maybe
did.
not the execution.
I like the concept, but here's the thing that I'm kind of screwed up about a little bit is like I agree the film is faulted big time, but I still like it. I don't know why.
Okay.
I enjoyed the entire thing. I saw as the film was playing out, I saw some of the issues, some plot holes, things like that. But for some reason, it played out, and I was entertained by it. I didn't check my phone once. Um,
See, I think that's interesting what you're saying because a lot of times people are like, "Well, that movie wasn't logical or the characters were stupid," and I'm like, I like a lot of movies that aren't particularly logical. One of my favorite action movies is Police Story by Jackie Chan. Watch that movie. It's the dumbest goddamn thing, I mean, it doesn't make any friggin' sense. I found out that that movie was literally written as they were shooting it. But it's a fun movie. It brings what an action movie should have. The action scenes are fantastic. And it's just a lot of fun. A horror movie, to me, first of all, if I look down one time at the frickin' phone, that movie is not that good. You know, a horror movie should grab you really hard. And frankly, it's got to have. I'm not always saying I got to be scared. Okay, there, you know, seeing as many as we watch, it's hard for things to actually scare you viscerally anymore. But you like to at least have a little tension where you're concerned for the characters and stuff like that. I just think that's important. So, is that the feeling you got with Brightburn? Were you feeling for the characters? Were you just the concept itself hooked you in? What was it about it that you enjoyed?
The concept definitely, and I did like how the film played out, showing him figuring out what he was.
Okay.
I think they did a great job of that, and I don't want to spoil too much, but
Yeah, you better not.
the progression of, to find out that he's Superman, for me, I was just thinking, like, that's fucking pretty terrifying, if something came down and it just wanted nothing but pure annihilation and had all this power, like, you can't stop it, you can't do anything about it. And I thought that was a decent plot. Now, I think this film, if any film, deserves a sequel, because it was a lot of setup. Now I want to see where it goes. I want to see if he just goes on to go crazy, or what's the next chapter in the story. Because that, I think, if this is a setup film, I'm fine with that. If this is a standalone, then I do have an issue with the storytelling.
Okay. Well, I think I mean, you didn't go into it, but the director is James Gunn. He has a certain amount of power in Hollywood right now.
He didn't direct it.
He didn't?
No.
No.
Did he write it? Is that what?
No, he produced it.
He produced it? That's it?
Yeah, some guy I've never heard of directed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought he had directed it. How did I come under that assumption?
Well, that's what everybody was saying. Like, James Gunn attached his name to this, and it just was, I think, the notion that he was directing it was out there, and it just kind of went that way. But yeah, it was not the case. It's this unknown guy.
Okay.
Maybe some people know him. I don't. Adam, do you know who he is?
I don't. I'm looking at IMDb, and he directed a film called The Hive in 2014.
Oh, that was a hit.
And I never saw that one.
No, nobody
Yeah,
saw it. I'm being facetious. I'm being facetious.
I believe James Gunn's brothers actually wrote this.
Okay.
Which one, Sean? The actor brother?
No, it was Brian and Mark. They're either brothers or cousins of James Gunn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Adam, you have seen the film. What are your thoughts on the film, and maybe my take on it as well?
I pretty much agree with what you said. Like, I love the concept. The parents were portrayed stupider than I wish they would have been. Somebody actually told me they thought it had too much gore in it, where I thought the gore used was a perfect amount, and
it was appropriate for the for the film, the situation.
Exactly, and I definitely thought it was dumb fun in a way. Like, I didn't look at it as a straight horror film, but I didn't look at it as like a straight what if Superman was evil film. It kind of straddled the line between the two. I think that's what I liked about it.
Yeah, man, I can get behind that. It was just a good concept, and like I said, I really think if there's a sequel, I think they could really do something cool with it because it's a good setup, I think, but standalone.
Yeah, I agree, and I kind of wish it was a little longer to fill in some of the plot holes, but I
Yeah,
also get why it wasn't.
yeah, it was. It was one of the situations where you need backstory, but then it eats into the time of showing you what he is and all that. And that balance is probably just impossible to get in without hitting like a 2.5 hour movie.
Right, right,
And
because
let's be clear, we don't need any more of those.
No,
Let's
no.
be clear about that. Okay, I got a question for you guys. The big thing now is that a movie like this could be turned into a TV series very easily because we're going to have Comcast is going to have a streaming service, Disney's going to have a streaming service. Who else is getting one? There's like 4 or 5. So if one of them picks this up and creates a series, do you think that might be a better format for this type of story?
Um, yes and no. I think it'd have to go to like a Showtime or HBO
I,
to accomplish what they want. If it goes to like an NBC or a Disney, I think it'd be dumbed down and made child friendly quite a bit.
Let's
yeah, it
say,
has to stay in a hard R.
well, let's say
Yeah.
they do that they go with the hard R. Do you think a 10 episode arc would be better than a 2 hour movie there?
Um, I it depends on what they do with it. I think it could be, but also would it just kind of draw it out more than a 2 hour movie would? Like, I think they could accomplish what they want in a 2 hour movie, but I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Okay.
I don't know.
Did,
I think it would. I think it might benefit a little bit from a 10 episode arc. That way, you could really focus on what you need to focus on without eating into other portions of the film. Um, so I definitely would be interested if in a 10 episode arc if they were to go that route. I just hope I see a continuation of the movie that we watch because I'm curious to see where this goes.
well, I prepared a special something because I'm the only one that does frickin' show prep. I did prepare a question for you, Mike, and this is going to tear your heart. You're not going to know which way to go. Should the lead character from Brightburn here, the Superman wannabe thing,
Yeah,
should he visit the TV series Gotham?
he would just kill everybody. It wouldn't be very fun. I mean,
So are you ready for that by this time?
I mean, if he went to Gotham, he would just everybody would be dead and the show would be over. Well, the show's already over, so yeah, he can go to Gotham.
All right. Well, I thought you were going to have more difficulty with that question. Damn it. All right. I was so proud of myself. Okay, it's time to do the grading. Mr. Mike Exler, what are you going to grade the opus Brightburn, which apparently was not directed by Gunn? What are you
It
going to
wasn't.
give it?
This is like I said, I enjoyed it even for its flaws. I'm gonna give it a strong B.
A B. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what I predicted. Right after he said B, I predicted that he would
It's a good
say
job,
B.
Tim.
I think that's pretty amazing for me. What's funny is I kind of did have this predicted for you, and I still can't predict what I'm going to grade my own. So that's that's a reality.
I think I actually talked myself into liking it a little bit more as I went through the film.
Did you? All right. That happens to me a lot on this show. It happens a lot. Okay, well, it's time for me to talk about my movie. I saw the movie The Stuff. Believe it or not, I never saw this movie before. Ever.
It's ridiculous.
I know. And I'm a monster guy. You would
I
think.
I'm speechless. I have no words for that.
I don't know how this got past me. I think this must have been shown on Up All Night on USA Network like a million times.
It would have had to have been.
And
Yeah.
I never saw it.
Or Joe Briggs, yeah.
I was watching the movie and I'm like, I have never seen this. I thought I must have watched it one time and it just didn't register or it didn't, make I never saw this movie before. So I'm going to start by going quickly through some of the stats about the movie. Directed by Larry Cohen. It follows Mo Rutherford, which I swear there must be a lot of other characters named Mo Rutherford. He's a corporate spy played by Michael Moriarty, who introduces himself saying, "The name's Mo Rutherford. They call me that because when people give me money, I always want more." How was that? That was pretty good, right? I worked
Yeah,
on
it's
that.
spot on.
I worked on it. It also stars Danny Aiello for like a scene. Paul Sorvino is in it. And Garrett Morris as Chocolate Chip Charlie. First, you guys have both seen this. Do you think the character Chocolate Chip Charlie could be done today?
Nope.
Nope.
I was watching it. And, it's based on Famous Amos, obviously, and all that. I don't think they could have done that today. I was just like, oh, my God. And he does have one of the best lines in there. He says, "The only thing Chocolate Chip Charlie knows better than fighting is running." And then Mo Rutherford says, "Well, pick a direction." I thought that was good. Okay. The movie is about, like, I don't know, some sort of super yogurt ice cream type snack that becomes a huge hit in the U.S. It has, even if I didn't know the movie was 1984, 1985, I would have known it was 1984, 1985. It had a lot of anti-marketing undertones that was huge in the mid-'80s. And it has in a cameo Abe Vigoda, alive, in a commercial with Where's the Beef, Clara Peller. And this is just 2 years before she assumed room temperature. I was like, oh my God, this could not be more 80s. The only way they could have made it more 80s is everybody wearing skinny ties and doing Rubik's Cubes throughout the movie. That could have maybe taken it up a notch. But
And drinking a tab.
drinking a tab would help as well. Actually, I do have a movie. What the hell was it named? Oh, there is a movie that
Blazers 37.
What?
But Blazers 37.
No, but thank you. That is one of my favorites.
Oh, no.
It had the kid from 16 Candles. Damn it. His name.
Robert Downey Jr.
No.
John Cusack.
No. You're
Meg Foster.
You're really pissing me off right now.
Long-
16 Candles was, Anthony Michael Hall. Anthony Michael Hall made this movie. Now I'm looking this up because I have to. This is going to kill me. He made a movie in the mid-'80s that literally they had a scene with a Rubik's Cube and a tab, and everything was in like one shot. I was like, this is the most 80s movie of all time.
Oh shit, that was
Out of
Saving Private Ryan.
Bounds. Out of Bounds. You have to see this movie. 1986. It is Anthony Michael Hall as an action star, which makes no sense because he was still in his full nerd look at that time. And it is so everybody is wearing neon colors that it feels like an 80s action movie. You have to check it out. Out of Bounds. Oh my god, it's really spectacular. Okay, back to the stuff. So I go into the stuff kind of knowing a little bit about it and thinking, oh, this is just a knockoff of the Blob. I mean, it feels like it's a knockoff of the Blob when you're told what this thing is.
Ooh, this man.
And what?
Shame.
I said, "Boo, this man."
That's what I went in. People describing this movie, it sounded like that's what I had to get get ready for, and it isn't. It's weird. I mean, the thing kind of takes people over and makes them zombies, or as Mo Rutherford actually refers to them as stuffies, which just about killed me when he said that. It's very campy, very pulpy. It moves by at lightning speed. I think it is only like 90 minutes or something, which is the perfect length for this movie. It doesn't sit around and go, oh, gee, what's the origin of this stuff? No, let's keep going. It just keeps moving throughout. It's not as gritty or intense as the Blob remake. I think I like the Blob more than this movie. The remake I'm talking about. The political content I actually thought took away from some of the scares because they were like trying to make this like advertising and all this sort of storyline. I'm like, but you're kind of backing off on the horror elements of it because they wanted to make the social commentary. It's weird because it's definitely aimed at advertising, but then it has some weird things. I haven't figured out where it comes down on addiction because it almost makes all the addicts are just victims of an advertising campaign. And I'm sitting there, I'm going, well, I don't know that I believe that everybody's addicted to something. It's just because, Madison Avenue said get into it. I don't believe that's true in itself for cigarettes, is what I was thinking of when I'm watching it. I'm like, I don't know. People actually do like cigarettes, So what's interesting is this movie is kind of a dumb, fast movie. And I actually found myself thinking about it after I watched it. This is the kind of movie that you generally would think is just a popcorn movie. Watch it, enjoy it, move on. I actually thought about this movie quite a bit in the following week, which I did not expect at all. Again, I don't think I liked it as much as The Blob. I liked it, but I'm really having a hard time saying I loved it. I don't know. You guys obviously both loved it, it sounds like.
Look, I just looked up the Guinness Book of World Records, and it's in there for being the best movie ever made.
No, it is not.
Yeah, it is. It's also in Ripley's Believe It or Not for the same thing.
I don't believe it.
I find it amusing. It's a fun watch. Yeah, there are definitely social commentary and overtones and everything, and I just never really tried to watch it like that. Like, I just like the ridiculous cameos of Danny Aiello and Paul Sorvino, and
I
And Chocolate Chip Charlie is iconic. I love it.
it
It's
Yeah.
just ridiculous.
I will say yes. I felt it was campy. It was pulpy, and I enjoy that type of entertainment. I read pulp novels a lot. I enjoy that type of humor. I think Flash Gordon is a great movie. You know, I this is in my wheelhouse. I just I wish it was scarier. I guess is where I am with it because I
I
expected
don't
some real scares and I don't feel like I got any real scares.
I I don't think it's meant to be a scary movie per se. Like, I think it falls more into the sci-fi category.
Okay.
It's funny that you mentioned the advertising because I didn't see it as addiction. I saw it more as like poking fun at the diet fad of the 80s because in one of the ads they market it as like an almost weight loss type thing. So to me, it was kind of poking fun at products like Slim Fast that were big around the time, and they're still big today for that same marketing approach.
Yeah, I get where you're coming with that. Um but I would agree except for like that last scene that they have where it's like these addicts that found some of the stuff. And I was like, where is this coming from? It didn't seem like the rest of the movie was really speaking about that. And then all of a sudden that came in, and I'm like, that throws me as to what they were trying to do with this movie. And I do think it's interesting that the tagline was Mo Rutherford's "Are you eating it or is it eating you?" Which has kind of an interesting view if you then add that filter of the advertising thing to it. You know, and obviously I'm reading way more into it than this movie actually has.
Yeah,
Isn't that at all?
it's
It,
about marshmallow fluff that eats you.
yeah, it is. Uh, it's entertaining. It moves fast. You know, one way that I decide if I think I'm going to give something an A or a B. Oh, I should go to grades. One way that I decide that is I go, is this a movie I'm actively going to recommend to others? Is this a movie I'm going to say, you gotta see this? And this movie, I guess my recommendation of this movie would come after somebody tells me other movies that they like that I think are similar, that are campy, but also have some horror elements or horror comedy or something of that nature. So I guess I will be recommending this movie, but I'm not going to be, you know, if somebody says, what's a good horror movie? I don't think this is a movie that's going to come to mind. You know, I'm probably not going to use it. So I am giving it an A minus. It isn't a top movie for me, but it's pretty darn good. I enjoyed it enough, but it isn't something where I'm going to say you got to go see this. I'm still going back and forth if this is an A minus or a B plus. It's just back and forth in my head. I don't know that I'll ever decide what I really think of this movie. I think this is a movie that I will probably revisit because it is light. It's easy to watch. It isn't something that's a heavy watch or anything of that nature. So, yeah, probably going to revisit this, and then I'll have a better feel for what I really think of the movie. But yeah, I would recommend it to horror comedy fans. I would say it really fits into that pantheon pretty good. All right, we are at the end of the show, believe it or not. Here we are at the end of the show. And Mike, what is going on the website? Do you even know?
Yeah, we're taking a little hiatus, enjoying the summer a little bit. We'll be back strong with some shows and some other content, so check back for that.
How
And yeah, that's kind of what's going on.
how come you guys get a hiatus and I'm always just working? What is that?
It's in the contract.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Yep.
it's ironclad, Tim.
Look at it. All this stuff is still out here. Holy cow. There's a lot of material for people to work their way through at otherworldlyculture.com. Are we still selling t-shirts?
Ultra limited.
Ultra limited. Wow. Yeah, you
Ultra
can get those
limited.
at fastcustomshirts.com. Still the East Coast Horror Group logo, the otherworldly logo. I don't know about you, Mike, but my email is filled with requests for the otherworldly culture t-shirt every day. Like
I
hundreds.
I
Hundreds.
don't know what to do with them anymore. They just keep pouring in.
Hey, it's crazy. I feel like we're being spammed by fans on this. It is crazy.
It
I may
is.
need a filter of some kind. Adam, what have you been up to?
Nothing, like Mike said, kind of on a hiatus. Pretty much in some comic shops, hoping to go over some stuff on a future dead on. Or I've got issues that Mike and I have been doing for comic books, but just kind of enjoying the summer right now.
And I will tell you, I do plan when the word comes out what's on Netflix in August. I'll be doing or on Amazon Prime, I should say. I will do another article, what to catch on Amazon Prime, because I'm a Prime fan, and
Prime fan.
yeah, I'm interested. They come out with good movies for people to check out. Prime gets a lot of rips because Netflix does have a much bigger selection and all that. But if you take a look at what's on Prime at any one time, they got a lot of decent stuff out there to check out. So I like pointing that stuff out for folks that may not have seen those movies yet. Lord knows the list of my movies of shame keeps dwindling with something like this stuff where I was ashamed that I had not seen it yet. And now that I'm off the movie pass juice, I'm able to do some catching up. I haven't decided what's going to be next month yet, but it's going to be another monster movie. I'm continuing to go on the monster movie kick as we
We
keep
didn't
going.
mention our other non-sponsor. Damn it.
Oh, Shutter.
Yeah.
Other.
Hashtag
Well,
Shutter.
we did watch stuff on that the other week, so
That's right. And Mandy is a Shutter exclusive.
I
that
am
it is.
I am looking to bringing back. Well, I only did like one show or something. Doing glancing back. I got my hands on a list of the top 10 movies in the box office from 1950 to 2000. And I thought that might be an interesting show to try out on Facebook Live and discuss those. So if people are interested in that, stop sending me those emails about the goddamn t-shirts and let me know what you think about that. And maybe I'll put something together that way. But I don't know. Looks like a lot of work. This time of year, want to remind everybody, I hope that you have a great July 4th weekend coming up. Enjoy the fireworks. Set somebody on fire that you love and parade them through the streets just to remind people of the way we used to have entertainment when we used to tar and feather people. I miss the old days. Alrighty. If you'd like to reach us, you can send it to our email. Do not use this email for more of those t-shirt requests that will not be honored.
Don't do-
East Coast HG at gmail.com. East Coast HG at gmail.com. And we will respond to everything that does not have to do with the t-shirts or requires a response of over a sentence. Okay, so hang in there until our next show. And remember, as John Carpenter once said, horror is a reaction, not a genre. Otherworldlyculture.com. Ooh, that's scary.
Puppy monkey baby. Puppy monkey baby. Puppy monkey baby.
EMB.
This is Yippee Eames, and you're listening to the East Coast Horror Group. Enjoy.
Oh, I wish we could get him again. Make it otherworldly culture. So awesome. That would be so awesome.